Hello.
Hello,
Hi, how are you?
fine. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
That's
I
great.
am hanging in. So how can I help you?
Um, I just like a general reading. If it has to be somebody from the other side, maybe Mike.
It's up to you. Whatever you want. My general readings kind of work off of questions. That's just how I communicate with your guides as I work off the question. It's something about the energy. It's just easier for me to work that way with general readings. Or you can do the loved one, whatever you want to do. It's totally
I
up to you.
just
Reading.
I get messages, directed for me.
Okay, so you want mediumship then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it takes a month to get super chat because I have to wait till they pay me, and they don't pay me until the 26th
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll,
of June or something.
I'll,
No, I was telling people in the chat because she's like, dang, you have to wait a month for super chat. And I was like, yeah, you get paid once a month, and it's like not till the 20th. So it's kind of weird. All right, so you want me to try to connect to Mike then?
yes.
Okay. Okay, Mike. I wish I could figure out where this headache is coming from. It's really driving me wild. Because usually if it belongs to the person I thought it belonged to, it'll go away after I say it. But it hasn't gone away.
Mhm.
Taking a little bit longer to dial direct with this one. Pictures are better. Names are okay. So just hang on a second. If they're not automatically around you. Okay, I keep getting a reference to, and this, if it belongs to anybody else, just let me know. But I keep getting a reference to the chest area, which is usually heart or lungs. At the same time, it's like I don't know, my shoulders and everything kind of feel achy. And it can be an ailment. An ailment, a symptom, or it can be related or not related to the passing because I pick up on things that people felt when they were alive as well. Does that make sense or no?
This is when he was alive?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
Sorry, I'm not
that's okay.
be at this, so.
That's okay. So the way that I work, let me just explain real quick. And I would just need you to validate if it makes sense and how it makes sense, because that will help the reading continue to go, because I know I have the right person. But basically, I can get past, present, or future. Things can be symbolic or have multiple meanings, and they often use my experiences and references. But so sometimes when they're first coming in, I'll feel things, and that can be it's usually related to their passing, but it can be like an element or a symptom related or not related, just depending on, certain things that they felt when they were alive can come into, basically.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So if it makes sense, just tell me yes, it makes sense, and kind of how it makes sense, because the chest is a big one for some reason, and usually chest is heart or lungs.
That I'm not aware of.
Okay.
Him having
And anything that doesn't make sense, just hang on to it. And again, we got a lot of people in the chat, so we may have some that like to, kind of like what happened with Katie.
Oh, okay.
With Allie, I should say. But kind of the shoulders feel weird. Like, so I don't know if he had shoulder issues when he was, it's weird. It's like the shoulders and the top of my back for some reason. And my arms are kind of aching right now.
Yeah, he was always in pain.
Right. So it's kind of like achy pain throughout his body kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay. Specifically his shoulders and his arms, right?
Yes.
Okay. And did that pain happen to have anything to do with his neck as well?
No, I don't believe so.
Because I know, like, when my shoulders and arms hurt, it also affects my neck. So I'm kind of getting that pain now. It's weird. It's almost like my neck, my back, my shoulders, my arms is what seems to be affected. It's like mid-back.
All his joints hurt, okay.
And do you know if he had anything with his stomach area? Because there's a reference to the stomach area.
No, he had liver problems.
Okay, well, the liver's in the stomach.
Yeah, and gout.
Okay, so anything, when I say stomach, it's like basically any of the organs in your stomach.
Got it.
Sometimes they're specific about the organ, and sometimes they're not. They just will reference the area.
Oh,
so they're referencing my stomach area since the liver's in the stomach. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
And the aches and the pains and that he had through his arms, it was all related to gout.
Okay, I see. And the weird thing that he's doing is, like, in the middle of your chest plate, I'm getting like a severe pain right there. Not really sure why, if that connects to him or not, but
no,
it came out of nowhere. So
no,
I'm not really sure if, sometimes when other parts of your bodies hurt, it causes the pain to move up. Like, I know sometimes when I have a stomach ache, it will cause it into, like, almost like a heartburn feeling into your chest. That's kind of like what I feel. But, like, the middle of my back has been hurting before I got on the live, so I don't know who that belongs to. But, okay. I just say things I'm feeling, and they, it may not be things that, because I'm sure when people are alive, they don't tell you every single thing that they feel. So just, I'm telling you the things that he's making me feel.
Okay.
but I don't have him in as strong as I would like him to be yet. So with the gout, did he have issues walking as well? Like, did he have to use at times?
Yes.
Okay. Did he have to use like a cane or anything like that at times? He shows me him limping, and then
he showed you what?
him limping.
Yeah. Oh, well, I didn't know if you wanted me to tell you, his medical condition or not.
Well, just validate kind of why I'm getting what I'm getting, I guess.
Yeah, because
there's a reference to him limping or having issues with getting around, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a stroke.
Okay, that could be my head.
Okay.
Because a stroke happens in the brain.
Right.
And I notice a lot of times with stroke, my head will hurt really bad. So,
okay.
Because it's a brain bleed.
Using a cane.
Right. Okay. It's weird. It's like he went from being like, I think he kind of had some issues throughout his life, but he went from being healthier, and then it was like it all kind of spiraled downhill. You know what I mean? It was like one thing went wrong, then the other thing went wrong, then the next thing went wrong. That's kind of how he explains it to me, anyways. Like
exactly.
With like the last few years of his life, it seems like I get 3, so I want to say like within the last 3 years.
Yep.
I'm still trying to get his connection to you. He feels very, I hear the word brother. Now, brother can be he is a brother. It doesn't necessarily have to be your brother. Or they give connections of they're important connections. So, I don't know if that makes sense.
I dated him.
Okay. But do you know if he had a brother?
He had a couple of brothers.
Okay.
Sorry.
So he was a brother. It's okay.
Yeah,
because I was going to get to that one next because he felt more of like a lover to you or a friend, but he said the word brother. So, like I said, they bring up connections they have with other people to me. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's your connection. It just means that he has brothers or he is a brother. So he shows me that you guys laughed a lot, or you could make him laugh.
No, he made me laugh over nothing.
Okay, so it's opposite. I just saw someone laughing.
Yes.
So,
oh my God. Yes.
Okay. He talks about good times, having good times together, and I see like a handwritten note.
Yes.
Okay, so did he used to write you letters or vice versa?
No, he had left me a couple notes.
Okay.
When he went to work, if I was still sleeping or whatever.
Right. Okay, so I just see someone writing, so that's letters, notes, however that fits. He comes across as, he's saying that you were very special to him, in a lot of different ways. Like, I hear the word, she made me want to be a better man.
Yes. Oh, wow.
that you kind of changed him, but in a good way.
Yes, exactly. I tried, but, you know,
Yeah.
he still passed over. So,
Well, and that's the thing. If you haven't watched my soul contract thing, people need to watch that because it really does explain that we all do kind of have our time and place. No matter what we do, we can't
oh, right,
stop someone's time and place.
right.
So, unfortunately, we all got to go when it's our time to go. And as far as his body was not good. You know what I
No,
mean? Like his body was failing him, unfortunately.
absolutely. Yeah, I just wish I had met him, earlier, sooner than I did. Maybe I could have.
No,
Uh,
it wouldn't have made a difference. We all meet who we're supposed to meet in the time frame that we meet them in. So there are no accident meetings, and we do have soul contracts with people that we meet. And regardless if you would have met him sooner or later, it wouldn't have made a difference. You spent the time you were supposed to spend with him and the time you were supposed to spend it. So were
correct.
you with him when you guys were still together when he passed?
Yes,
Okay. Did he have a lot of in and out of hospital visits?
yes,
Because he shows me going in and out, and you were there for him during that time?
yes.
Okay. Because he shows me you going in and out of hospital with him. And he wants to thank you for that. Because he says you were more than just, a lover and a friend. Like you were just more than that to him because you were also his support system.
Yes.
He didn't. I don't feel like he really had anybody else. There's no one else taking care of him, and you stepped in and fulfilled that position. He's like, I would have married her,
Oh, wow.
and it comes across as
And now he tells me.
well. And I think at the time he didn't realize it, and he knew he was leaving, but
Right.
that's what you meant to him. Like if he would have. If
Right.
his time on Earth would have been longer, I feel like that's what he wanted to do. Like he had thought about it. Okay. He says things weren't always perfect, but they were perfect
Right.
enough for a relationship. Because,
That's
as relationships, the things go up and down. And so he says they weren't perfect, but they were perfect enough for him. He cared about you. You cared about him. And you treated him really well. And he wants to thank you for that.
oh,
So I see you holding his hand at some point in his illness. I don't know if this is prior to him passing. But I see you holding his hand and talking to him.
yes.
And telling him, that he kind of changed your life in a good way, that you loved him. And like, I do feel you kind of have this feeling like you're telling me, where you have kind of a lot of guilt, where you wish you would have met him sooner, where you wish you could have done more, but you couldn't have done any more than you already did. And
Okay.
the time of your life that you gave to him was important for both of your soul's purpose. Okay, so it's something that I think that you actually helped him live longer than he was supposed to live because of the love you gave him.
Okay.
And you had a conversation with him prior to his passing, correct?
Yes.
Where you were telling him those things?
Yes.
And was there a time where he was kind of out of it where you were also talking to him? I feel like he didn't really leave his bedside.
I didn't. Well, I was there when he had already passed.
Okay.
I was there the whole time.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He shows me you sleeping next to his bedside, like you not leaving.
Right.
Um.
Right. It was his mom and myself.
Okay. Because that's what he shows me is like you didn't leave him, and that meant a lot to him because he knows that was not easy. He knows it was not easy for you to see him that way. He knows it was not easy for you to sleep in the chair or cot or wherever you were sleeping, not at home. But you did it because you loved him, and that showed him a lot, and he is so appreciative of you for that. And he's so appreciative of the love that he that you guys shared. He keeps talking about a necklace, so I don't know if he gave you one or...
He did.
Okay. So that's just a validation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
About the necklace that he gave you.
Yes.
You
Yes,
still
he
wear
did.
that?
I don't wear it, no.
Do you have it somewhere?
Yes.
It's hard for you to wear, huh?
No,
No?
no. It was,
He's wondering why you're not wearing it. That's why I'm asking you.
oh, shit. Okay, well, guess what? When I finish this reading, I know what I'll be doing is putting the necklace on.
There you go. He just says it looks beautiful on you, and you don't have to wear it all the time, but he'd like to see you wear it. It was his gift to you out of love, and he likes when you wear it.
I think it was for Valentine's Day, and he put a little note, in there. I think it was a little diamond, and he said baby steps, towards maybe bigger and better things.
Right. So you were getting there. It was just he liked to move slowly, and he says though, if he knew then what he knows now, he would have went a little faster with things. Is the way he puts it to me.
Okay.
He was afraid for a lot of different reasons, whether it be his past or whatever. But I feel like he really would have kicked things up if he would have known he was leaving, because there was times I think he felt like he was leaving, but then there was times he felt kind of good and he didn't think he was going anywhere for a while.
Right.
He really just shows me you taking really good care of him, and him being so thankful for that. So he hands you roses. Now that is my symbol for, it's usually coming from a significant other. Just to hand you roses and say thank you and that he loves you. He says you were the light of my life and one of the most beautiful people that I ever knew. And I am so blessed that we got to spend the time that we did together.
Oh, wow.
He says, I cherish it and I hope you do too.
That's so beautiful. Wow.
And
I get chills.
Yeah, and I think at times he's telling me at times that he felt like he didn't show you enough, how appreciative he was and how much he cared for you. And so he's telling you now that you really made a difference in his life, more than you could ever realize. And he's really blessed that you guys were able to have even the little bit of an amount of time that you were able to have together.
Right.
Because 3 keeps coming in, and I don't know if it's you were together for 3 years, 3 months, whatever, but
longer.
But so it was like the last 3 years was when he got sick, right?
He was, well, I might as well just tell you, he was an alcoholic, and I didn't know.
I was gonna say the drinking because of the liver. That was my next thing.
Right, and then I guess maybe, I don't even know. I mean, he fell, and then had a stroke.
Right,
and it was all downhill from that point on, and that was for quite a few years. I mean, he had the stroke in, close to when he passed in 2016. Yeah, 2016.
So that's why he's saying that he's sorry to you then, because I feel like he's saying he didn't treat you as good as he could have.
Right. Right. Yeah, I had no idea that he was an alcoholic, and then by that time, I was hooked. So,
hey, we all end up, there's no judgment here. I've been there, done that. We all end up who we're supposed to end up with. And that's the journey of it. That's the life lessons, and that's the soul contracts. So regardless if you guys were supposed to meet and go through things together, and like he says, he wasn't perfect and everything, but from the other side, he's healed, he's seen things, and this is how he really feels about you, and he needs you to know that. That's what a lot of times they come through is with their real message to you. Things that they didn't show you here. You know what I mean? Or things that you didn't know here. Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to ask you if he was alcoholic, because I kept getting the liver stuff.
Right.
And there was times I think his temper flared, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And so he wants to, you know, he's apologizing for those moments.
Yeah. That was due to the liquor.
Alcohol. Yeah, alcohol. I know. Trust me, I know more than you know. No judgment here. And that's what he's apologizing for. Because I feel like when he wasn't drinking, he was a good guy. And, you know, he was a different person. And the alcohol just kind of made his temper flare and made him not be a good person. He said, regardless, you loved him, you cared for him, and you did everything you could for him. And he says that can never, you know, I can never thank her enough for that. And for not being judgmental. Like, I feel like you just realized it was a disease. It was something he was going through, but you didn't judge him for it, and you loved him in spite of it.
Exactly.
And he is healed and whole on the other side. So that's why he's able to tell you the things now that he couldn't tell you then.
Okay. I understand.
And I feel like, again, there's many times that, like, he changed him in a good way. Like, I feel like in a way he was starting to change his habits, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you did make him a better man.
Okay. I sure tried.
You did. And you can't change people and how they're going to act and everything, but you did make him a better man.
Right.
And that's, you know, because you could see the little changes he tried to change. And addictions are really hard, you know, on people. Yeah. At least he was trying, and at least he was making some sort of progress. But he is sorry for all the times that he shouted at you. He was mean to you. He wasn't, you know, he's really sorry for that. Like, he wants to apologize from the bottom of his heart for that, because he's like, I had some hard lessons to learn, and I made some big mistakes, and she needed to be treated like a queen, and I didn't always treat her that way. And regardless, she loved me, and there was no questions, ifs, ands, or buts about that. And I see that so clearly now.
Wow. Well, I certainly accept his apology.
And he says, I know that you miss me. He's very much around you, especially when you're sleeping for some odd reason. And I don't know if you've ever smelled something that reminded you of him.
Nope.
If not, I don't know if you're missing it, because he's telling me he comes around you in some sort of smell. I don't know if it's I don't really know if it's an aftershave, if it's a cologne, I'm not sure. But it's some sort of smell that he's talking about. Whatever smell would remind you of him, just maybe you'll recognize it now, because sometimes often we miss it.
Right. But at night, I mean, I haven't felt his presence, but
well, that's because we don't always feel it. I'm a medium, and I don't feel presences.
Oh, okay.
I feel like tingles and chills. Those are signs of presence. Of someone's presence. Memories that pop in your head are a sign of their presence. You know, something that they would say popping in your head. It doesn't come in something huge like that. Like, not everybody is able to feel their presence.
Okay.
But if you're having memories of him, that's him saying hi.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And then if you get little tingles, like, spirit will let me know they're here with little tingles, but I don't feel them like I know, or I'll feel like someone's over my shoulder, but it's not like I can see them or I can feel them in the way that most people think that they would. Oh. Not everybody's strong and they're clairsentient to feel spirit, but he's definitely around you. Like, he shows me he's around when you're sleeping. Like, he watches over you when you're sleeping for some odd reason. That is coming in. And there's something with a light that he messes with. I don't know if it flickers randomly or something.
No.
I don't know if you have a hallway light, because he's talking about a hallway light. Maybe you haven't noticed it. I don't know. That's just in birds. No.
I haven't had that. I know I've seen that before, but
sometimes when we're grieving and stuff, we don't put two and two together. And like a lot of people, they're expecting this huge sign, like the person just to stand right, show up right in front of them, and unfortunately it's not like that. It's much more subtle.
Right.
Certain songs that come on the radio that remind you of him or whatever. Like,
exactly.
that's the kind of thing. So he's very much around you, and he sends his love, and I hope this was helpful to you.
It was very helpful. I feel so much better now.
I'm so glad, Girly Girl. That means a lot to me. Thank you for subbing and coming on tonight.
Thank you so much.
He's blowing you kisses.
Aww.
I'm going to leave him and let him go with you.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate it.
You're welcome.